everyone, welcome back. I'm Melissa Pineda, and today I will be discussing the book The Problem of Pain by C.S. Lewis. So why should you listen to my review of this book? Well, let me tell you. I'm going to give you a very brief overview of what this book is about and what I found interesting in it. And then you can decide if you want to spend your time reading it as well, reading it for yourself. So if you choose to do this, I'm going to provide the link in the description on where you can purchase the book. I think it's an excellent read. He is one of my favorite writers. He's an excellent writer. And this book is a very interesting read because it addresses a really interesting question, the problem of pain and why pain exists in the world. Why would God allow pain to exist if God is good? Before I get into my review, if there's anything today that you hear that you find interesting or that you like, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, so The Problem of Pain, it was written in 1940. And as mentioned, Lewis explores why suffering and pain exists in a world created by a good and loving God. So he argues that pain is not contrary to God's love, but a necessary part of human growth and free will. And he explains that suffering can serve a purpose, such as drawing people closer to God, for instance, or refining their character, making them stronger. He also addresses different issues like animal suffering, for instance, but I'm just going to focus on some of the main things that he talks about in this book to address the topic of pain and why it exists and how it can exist. So this book is a philosophical and theological attempt to reconcile God's goodness with the existence of suffering. So Lewis talks about how there are three things that help in terms of dealing with pain. So he says that from least important to most important, there's courage, there's human sympathy, and there's the love of God. And these three things help in terms of dealing with pain, whether it's your own pain, like chronic pain, or whether it's your pain because of the loss of a loved one, or if it's like just pain, the existence of it in general, and trying to wrap your head around it. So Lewis was Anglican, and he was born Christian. He became agnostic in his early teens, and then in his late teens, he found his faith again. And he became a very strong Christian from then on. And he says that you can't separate pain from life itself, and we can't possibly know God's plans, and we can't understand them. He talks about how people's conception of good differs, and he talks about this in relation to, like God, whatever is good, whatever God considers good, is going to quite possibly be different from what we consider to be good. And then going further, he says, and like no one can agree on what is good anyway. So he says that people's conception of good differs one from the other. Some people think the absence of suffering is good, while others think that that's not enough, so that it's not enough to just be free of suffering. Like that is not good, that's just like not good enough. So you also have to have other things in place, no poverty, and you have to have a certain degree of happiness. And so he's saying like people can't even agree on what good is. And Lewis says that our good might not be God's good. We have no way of knowing. So Lewis addresses these issues and this main issue in more depth, but these are sort of the main things that he says that I found really stood out when addressing the issue of pain or the topic of pain. And Lewis summarizes his book by saying that pain provides an opportunity for heroism, and that the opportunity is often seized with surprising frequency. I thought that was beautifully said. I'm going to leave it there. If there's anything that you've heard that you found interesting or liked, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as previously mentioned, there is a link in the description on where you can buy the book. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for listening, and until next time.